So here's an apology for Chinese Kenpo as a style of Kung Fu that is based around the body mechanics inherent in Tai Chi, inherent in Bakwa. There's a whole bunch of styles that go along with that, such as Sun Fu or Chun Fut, Wing Chun, Jin Fan Kung Fu. In our particular case, Jeet Kune Do, Hung Gar. All of these things are inherent and really are mixed. And I'm going to go through a few base level techniques, just the base, and display how it is that they are Kung Fu. First thing I'll start with is just the basic blocking pattern called star block. Okay, you can just do it haphazardly, but there's silk reeling there. Okay, so you have outward silk reeling, you have inward silk reeling. But more specifically, the significant bit is the Tai Chi symbol. So you have your circle with your S in the middle, okay? This is where all of those movements come in. Lift, there, and back. Pull up, lift, there, and back, okay? So I'll step back into a neutral bow. My upward block, my lifting motion, bang. There's my high block. Okay. In terms of my inside block, there's my inward motion. My outside block, I have a lift and an outward spiral. Super slight, super internal. And then for my downward block, I go down, out and down, okay? Down and back rather, okay? So that's significant in terms of the blocks and the inherent body mechanics that are there. In terms of Xing Chuan, you have Pi Chuan, rise, drill, and fall and overturn, okay? In terms of probably delayed sword is a good one to do that with, okay? There's your inward block. When I rise, I drill, bang, finish that half circle, and if I don't put the kick in, I fall and overturn. Here, using the body weight, okay? So I'm here. Rise, and there, fall and overturn. In terms of drilling fist, the one I like is stinging butterfly, using these sorts of movements. A few hidden moves there, okay? So parry, parry, kick, parry, parry, there. There's the, again, claw, arguably splitting fist, or what do you call it? Tiger or eagle from Xing Chuan, followed by your drilling fist. Okay. So from the side, parry, parry, kick, parry, parry, block, claw, and there. Another note that I thought of as I was preparing for that. Another sort of, like, all of these sorts of movements are silk reeling movements. I'm pulling in, using what Dr. Crouch calls hooking parries. Most Kenpo-kai call them hooking parries, but they don't talk about them too much. But you see them in the Filipino and Indonesian martial arts as well. There. It's all there. Okay. Crushing fist. Crushing fist is not there. That's another indication of getting fist. Crushing fist is in circling serpent. So I'm here. I parry to the side as I use an angular step, bakwa step. I end up behind the guy. Okay, I end up behind the guy. Bang! Here, when I land that punch, everything twists. Reel the silk fudging. Then there's the takedown. Again. Catch. On the side. Here. There's the takedown. Talking about the postures, all postures have pung in them. An interesting thing, rollback is always an arm wrench. So wherever you see arm wrenches, for example, in the gun defense, you're here, boom, there's your arm wrench, elbow, there, arm wrench. That's your rollback motion. And there's a few of those. Also in lone kimono, catch the hand, boom, right underneath, here, and strike. Use the hips, use that fajin, kick the hip, all that, okay? It's just a few examples. It's just a few examples. There are rebounding motions. So one thing, either slant flying or the first movement from grasping swallow's tail. This one. You have in beheading the dragon. One thing that Kenpo lets you know about is that you can bounce movements off of your body to one make this a completed motion, so that when I go this way, all my muscles are at rest and relaxed, so that when I go up and swing through, all that's there. Okay, so here, there's that all the way through, that slant flying motion, boom, with my knee check. I'm here, all the way through. Another raised hands is in it's in a green belt technique. Over here. I can't explain. I can go over and over. One day I made you a set of videos or something like that literally goes through every single technique in the Chinese Kenpo system and delineates roots, or at least connections, in my own training. Interesting things like you have a bone sow from Wing Chun. We have bridging claw. So you're using a bone sow for a bridge, but instead of just doing a standard bone sow, when the hand comes out, it ends up with a claw at the end. Tear, punch, and back. Again, you're stopping in place, and you're using all of that motion. That also has a motion in Tantoi. This sort of a motion. Here. just some examples off the top of my head stuff. I can think of more as I'm doing the techniques. All that stuff comes to mind, and it ends up interweaving and all that stuff. This movement from Bakwa, or the higher versions where the hands might be held higher, is present in the armbar defense. So the person's choking around this way. Okay, I go here. You'll notice that motion from Ping on Sandan. Okay, so I go here, step around and back, and I've got a leg buckle here. And my hand comes out. I strike, and I can take the leg away if I want. Movement from Nahanchi Shura. Another that I like that has that same leg sweep in it, combines that leg sweep with Wing Chun. You also find that leg sweep in Silat. Real big on connecting ankles and sweeping stuff. And then those buckles and stuff in the back of the leg. Also Kung Tao styles have it. And I guess lastly, trap lightning. Okay. So the way that this technique works is you have a tan sao that turns into lap sao basically. So you're here, trap down. That's a pinning check. Step through with that, and here you have the hook. Again, just like you have a hook with that chop. And there are similar moves in other styles. Salifu, I know, has a move similar to that as well. But I mean, all the history says that Nahanchi comes from somewhere in China. I'm not sure where. That'll be probably in Pat McCarthy's material. And there's a few others who are working on that sort of a thing. So, hope this helps. Both salutes. Appreciate you.